Well, the best laid plans. I think I'm going to move on, and then I find something else. Ann Romney was interviewed by Jack Thomas, the Boston Globe, October 20th, 1994. So simple math would say 10 years would be 2004. So it's 18 years ago, is that right? 1994 to 2004 is 10. And, 18, 4, and 8, yeah, 17, 18 years ago. Ann Romney, interviewed by Jack Thomas, the Boston Globe, of her student days with Mitt at BYU. Ann Romney said, those weren't easy years. You have to understand, I was raised in a lovely neighborhood, as was Mitt, and at BYU we moved into a $62 a month basement apartment, cement floor. We lived there 2 years as students with no income. It was tiny. I didn't have money to carpet the floor, but you can get remnants, samples, so I glued them together, all different colors. It looked awful, but it was carpeting. We were happy. We were studying hard. Neither one of us had a job. Mitt had enough of an investment from stock that we could sell off a little at a time. Stock came from Mitt's father. When he took over American Motors, the stock was worth nothing, but he invested Mitt's birthday money year to year. Wasn't much, a few thousand, but he put it into American Motors because he believed in himself. And 5 years later, stock that had been $6 a share was $96. Mitt cashed it so we could live and pay for education. Now, Mitt and I walked to class together. We shared housekeeping, had a lot of pasta, tuna fish. We learned a lot of hard lessons. We had our first child in that tiny apartment. We couldn't afford a desk, so we used a door propped on sawhorses in our bedroom. It was a big door, so we could study on it together. And we bought a portable crib. We took the legs off. We put it on the desk while we studied. I had a babysitter during class time, but otherwise, I'd hold my son on my lap while I studied. Right after Mitt graduated in 1975, we had our third boy, and it was about the time Mitt's first paycheck came along. So we were married a long time before we had any income, about 5 years as struggling students. Now, every once in a while, we say if things get rough, we can go back to a $62 a month apartment and be happy. All we need is each other and a little corner, and we'll be fine. This is the woman who was just impugned last night and continues to be impugned today by Hilary Rosen, who is snarkily doubling down on all this. The Democrats, the Obama White House, are asking her to apologize and back off, but she won't do it. This is the woman that Hilary Rosen, a Democrat, say is not qualified to tell her husband about economic circumstances as they exist for women today. And this is the woman who's saying that Mitt should stop hiding behind his wife's skirt. He has no business bringing her into the campaign. It's fine for Bill Clinton to bring Hillary in the campaign, if they let her run the damn show. And it's fine for John Edwards to bring Elizabeth Edwards in and let her whatever. And it's wonderful for Michelle Obama to be in charge of what everybody eats and everything else they want her in charge of. But Ann Romney? Who the hell does she think she is? She doesn't know anything. She never even worked a day in her life. And that coward husband of hers hiding behind her skirt? Folks, for 23 plus years, I have literally been begging people in this country to have an ideological outlook, to understand it. Ideology, I mean, and have an ideological outlook on people. It's the fastest, best way to understand, especially people in politics. Why wouldn't you want to know what their ideology is? It's the fastest, most direct way of finding out who they are, and I have been begging people to understand the abject rage and hypocrisy and at times hatred that courses through the veins of so many of these people, the upper echelons of the Democrat Party. This is one of these great, great teachable moments. Blabbermouth-Schultz just tweeted, by the way, Democrat National Committee spoke, which, by the way, these two babes were hired to tone her down. Did you know that? Anita Dunn and Hilary Rosen were hired to tone her down before her first appearance on Meet the Press, or after it. Because she was too off the wall. They hired, anyway, now I don't have time to tell you what she tweeted, but I will. Sit tight.